The year was 5. The sun had set on reason, and Goon Nation had declared war on itself over chickens, clay, and socialism? Welcome to Vintage Story, a beautiful, unforgiving survival game where you can die of hunger, cold, wolves, or in our case, ideological disagreements. This is the story of a server where a few friends tried to build a peaceful society and accidentally created the most deranged political drama you've ever seen in cubic form. We had elections, we had propaganda, we had wars, hell, we even had a chicken who held more power than our leaders. This is the Goon Nation saga, a 60-day descent into hunger-fueled madness. Grab a torch, cause things are about to get very, very stupid.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. I know that my previous Vintage Story video got 50 likes, which surprised me, and I know it's taken a while for me to publish my part 2. This is mostly because I wanted to reevaluate my stance. After reading some of the comments on the previous video, well, mainly this one, and doing some research of my own, I have settled on a conclusion that I base the structure of Goon Nation on a communal anarcho-syndicalist. Instead of changing this, we will lean into it. I've written a manifesto for Goon Nation. Yes, I wrote a manifesto, and no, I'm not starting a cult. Yet. This manifesto is what me and my comrades will use as our guidelines and core principles for this playthrough. If you want to read the Goon Nation manifesto for yourself, it can be found if you click on the link in the description. If you want to get the full context, or you just want to see my take on this system, feel free to read it. For those who didn't watch the previous video, you can watch it here. Though I do want to mention it is not necessary to watch that video to understand this one. With all that out of the way, let's get into it.
Last time on Goon Nation, a small group of deranged villagers rejected capitalism, embraced bread-based socialism, and declared a cold war on the empire. What followed was a winter full of poorly insulated hovels, ethically redistributed food rations, and an economic model held together entirely by tin, hope, and potatoes. Somehow, despite the wolves and the cold, the village survived. Barely. Now, spring has arrived, and things are about to get, for lack of better words, weird.
The Empire, a capitalist authoritarian nation to our west, has increased their defenses. After having noticed that the workers of the great Goon Nation stole some of their food rations last winter, the capitalist pig dogs started construction on a fort to keep watch over their lands. Luckily, however, this means that they will for now be too busy gathering resources and building to attack our nation. Our bigger issue at hand is the drifters. They're increasing in number every attack and have overpowered our defenses numerous times, forcing us inside. After the Empire opened a portal, bridging our realm and that of the Gears dimension, drifters are now everywhere, and if we don't take action, they will eventually fully overrun our town. We need to get to the root of it, and fast. Luckily, we have heard rumors from our expeditionary force that a local trader holds a map to a place called the Resonance Archive. Here it is said that there is lost knowledge of how to make advanced machinery which could possibly help Goon Nation stand out above their competition. Thus at the Goon Nation Assembly, where each syndicate gets one vote, we unanimously decided our best course of action would be to find this archive and extract as much knowledge from there as possible to help our fight against the drifters and the Empire. So preparations had to be made. We would need to get enough food for the journey, warm clothes, armor, and weapons. Luckily, we had just entered the Bronze Age, and the Miner Syndicate was working full-time to get everyone their fair share of protective and offensive equipment, while the Builder Syndicate, now that winter had finished, finally managed to get the frame of the Goon Assembly Hall in the middle of town done, which looked absolutely stunning.
Well, I found what's...
And we finally unlocked the ability to bake our own bread around this time, making surviving winter a lot easier, as you can easily store a lot of grain for a very large amount of time, and then bake some of it into bread whenever food is needed. Bread does spoil faster than grain, however, so for now we will only bake it in amounts we can consume within 5 game days. During the start of the spring, the Farmers Syndicate would expand the farms and finally start animal husbandry in the form of a chicken coop, which would need to be fed daily. While this is going on, the Miners Syndicate would need to collect tin and copper, and combine it in order to smith tin bronze, used to make better tools than our current copper ones. Unfortunately, not only does the Empire outnumber Goon Nation population-wise, they had also entered the Bronze Age, before it was even winter. Getting tin sounds easier than it actually is, however. To get tin, we will need to mine cassiterite, which can only be found deep underground. And after the Empire opened the portal between dimensions, drifter activity has spiked underground, with increasing numbers of drifters patrolling the cold cave systems. So we will need to form dedicated expeditions to extract cassiterite from the ground. Naturally, I, in my infinite wisdom, as a farmer mind you, volunteered for the next expedition underground, and it went about as well as you'd expect. We did eventually find our much needed cassiterite, however, and started extracting it right away. Finally, Goon Nation will be able to technologically compete with the Empire from now on. The Miners Union will dedicate most of their time to forge us new tools and prepare our stockpiles for our expedition to the archives. While this is happening, the Farmers Syndicate sat together with the Builders Syndicate to plan out and zone the rest of the hamlet. The plans that the farmers and builders forged were as follows. All the blue zones will be solely dedicated to outdoor farming, meaning this will be used in the spring, autumn, and summer to grow all kinds of vegetables and grains. For example, onions, carrots, flax, and a lot of other crops. In the red zone will be our berry farm. In finished story, berries spoil really fast, only lasting around 10 days, making it a pretty unreliable food source. Luckily, when food spoils, it turns into rot, which can be used to make compost, which we can then use as fertilizer or making more fertile soil, meaning the area will mostly be used to create rot. Then we have the white area, which will be used for animal husbandry. We will start off with just a chicken coop, as they are easy to keep, and as long as they're well fed, they produce a constant supply of eggs all year round. As you can see, however, everything we planned is on top of a small lake. Fortunately for me, and not for the lake, I'm Dutch, so naturally the lake didn't stand a chance. While building the farm and chicken coop was pretty easy, actually catching chickens to put in the coop would be a different story. The Empire wasn't just sitting by idly, however. A construction on their mountain fortress would likely be done around the start of winter, with one of our expeditionary members sending me these pictures. Meanwhile, I was still chasing poultry around like my life depended on it, which, considering our food situation, kinda did. As I finally catch the male and female chicken, the leader of the Builder Syndicate asked me if we could get some limestone for some building project.
My game just crashed.
I agreed, and we decided to walk south in search of a surface level limestone deposit. Unfortunately, this deposit was far away, really fucking far away. While exploring, we found this abandoned village that we promptly stripped of all its valuables to be brought back with us. After that, we found some creepy ancient tomb looking thing, which was flooded with powerful drifters, so we decided to leave that alone for now.
Like a dungeon. Yeah, this is 100% like a dungeon.
With both having collected our limestone and carrying backpacks full of loot, we decided to start making our way back to Goon Nation, where the Miners Guild was busy forging bronze weapons and armor.
Hey, free armor.
No!
Because soon, our expedition to the archives will begin. While we were walking back, we found this weird abandoned tower that we promptly looted before setting off again to rejoin our comrades and log off for the day.
First squad! To the rear! Go!
2 days later, winter was dawning again. Luckily, this time, we had enough time in storage to prepare a solid and well-mixed diet for winter. This diet mostly consisted of the bread system that we developed earlier. The Goon Nation Assembly Hall was finally finished and looked great, with the builders deciding to use vanity items that we found in the abandoned village, mixed with a ton of custom-made decorations. And of course, the Miner Syndicate had around this time finally finished smithing all the weapons and armor required for an expedition of 4 to take the Great Leap forward and venture down into the archives to obtain the forbidden knowledge of old.
And so, with 13 whole bread loaves, 3 torches, and only a few chickens to their names, our heroes marched towards destiny.
To find the archive, we went to the trader I talked about earlier, with whom we traded to receive the map leading to the Resonance archive. After obtaining the map, a red X was marked on our player maps. This is the location of the archive, and well...
Wait, how do I...
That
just
is so
by clicking
fucking
it?
far away.
Around this time, it started snowing. That, mixed with the winter cold and the snow that was already on the ground, meant we were going to have a long and difficult trip ahead of us. Even with all our winter clothing and preparations, the cold can still kill us if we aren't careful.
I also need to light my torch. Can we even?
As if it wasn't difficult enough already, it was now starting to turn night, and any torch that was extinguished by the harsh conditions wouldn't be able to be relit due to the hard winds. When we almost arrived at the archive, we found out it was located in the middle of a huge mountain range, so we started climbing. Suddenly, we heard a voice. I thought it was the wind, but the wind doesn't whisper. We were then rudely ambushed by a group of drifters. We decided to just disengage and double time into the archive instead of fighting the drifters in minus 12 degrees on the mountainside. And finally, there it is. The Resonance Archive. Before continuing into the archive, we relit our extinguished torches at the archive entry, as this is finally a place without any wind preventing us from lighting it. As we descended the long and strangely moist ladder into the archive, I could see the faces of determination on my comrades. We would either successfully raid the archive or die trying. After having climbed down all the way, we entered this huge room with very weak platforms circling around the walls. After taking a left, we found the Bell's workshop, the door of which cannot be opened by hand. We figured we most likely had to find some sort of machine or lever, and, well, we were then promptly attacked by drifters.
Oh fuck!
Holy shit, back up, everybody back up, everybody back up. Alright, keep the light on, somebody keep the light on. Oh, these are deep drifters. They're a lot harder than normal ones.
Yeah.
Alright, back up fast. You know what that fight
my
is.
thing is dropped.
I'm trying to fight.
I know.
Is that
Whoa! Dude, that actually, I felt that shit in my butt.
But the sounds that I hear when you're stabbing, it sounds like fapping. Find it. Where's it
Oh
gone?
no, what the fuck is this supposed to be, bro?
Eventually we reached the bottom of the archive, yet we still hadn't been able to open the door to the Bell's workshop, and we still hadn't found the library room either. We did, however, spot that in the middle of the cave there was this giant grill looking thing. After a while of running around like headless chickens, we figured we needed to turn on the boiler in the engineering room. This turned the power back on in the archives, and it completely changed the look of the place. When we went back up to the first floor, we saw the Bell's workshop was now open, And after walking and eventually crouching through the increasingly tighter hallways, we ended up in another room infested with drifters. After that, we made our way to the translocator room where we found these weird portals. We got teleported to this underground mine after going in. After a while scurrying around like little rats, we got to a room where we heard strange gear noises coming from. When we jumped in, we found the immobilized Idilom, and so we would have to go through him to get to the library.
I might jump in. I don't hear. Wait, is it?
After swiftly and very smoothly killing the immobilized Edelon, we finally had our way open to the library of the Resonance Archives. In this library, we found the schematics to the glider, which we could later use to advance the main story and easier exploration. After we got what we came for, we got off for the night.
Je n'ai jamais connu une fille comme toi qui peut bouger tout au long de la nuit. Oh. Certains disent qu'une fille comme toi ne laisserait pas l'amour barrer la route.
After our expedition to the archives, we would get no time to recover. Rumor has it that the Empire knows what we've been up to, and they're angry. Like any capitalist nation, the notion that a non-capitalist country can even remotely function is enough to make them go into a rage-fueled rampage. If we don't prepare, our citizens might be the targets of this rampage. So, it is time for a Goon Assembly meeting with the syndicates.
Open fire! Oh shit, I hit you!
I'll get straight to it. We need walls, not decorative ones, real ones. Drifters chewed through half a chicken coop last night, and one of the hens has PTSD.
Well, maybe if you didn't build the coop on a ley line infested swamp, we wouldn't be having this discussion. I thought we focus on housing. My people are sleeping in barns. Next week, they'll unionize the goats.
Bah! Walls are a luxury. Do you know what's deep underground right now? Screaming, echoing with claws. We need steel. We need reinforcements, and we need to stop mining directly into hell.
Look, I'm not saying your shiny death tunnels aren't important, but if we don't fortify the outskirts, we'll be hosting the next drifter raid inside the assembly hall. My crew's ready to start the wall, but we need new housing first. Or we'll be stacking citizens like firewood come first frost.
Oh great. Another winter of people asking if they can sleep in the chicken coop. Just one more night. Maybe this time the rooster won't bite someone.
That rooster was guarding national resources. He's been promoted to private peck.
Here's the proposal. We divert labor like this. 50% to new housing, stone or packed dirt, whatever's fast. 30% to wall foundation, outer perimeter only for now. And 20% to ore and charcoal production for tools and weapons. We rotate crews daily to avoid burnout and starvation.
Fine, but if one cabbage freezes because someone built their house facing the wind again, I'm issuing a formal complaint.
Agreed, but if drifters break through and eat my pickaxe again, I'm blaming you.
And thus, the plan was formed. Walls would rise, homes would be built, and tools would be crafted. And the Goon Nation would for now survive. Thank you so much for watching. If this video hits 500 likes, I'll definitely make another finished story video. In the meantime, I've got some other cool stuff planned. So hit subscribe to stay in the loop. Oh, and drop your favorite moment in the comments. I love reading them. And if you've got game suggestions, I'm always down to try new things.
Not in peace forever, where the sun is always. Not in peace forever.